Good morning. Good morning, world-class golfers. It's 11 a.m. Saturday. I believe it's the 21st of December. I'm going to walk you through how we have this all set up. Fuller, good morning, Fuller. Who else is in here besides Fuller? Fuller and Dean. Bob Perry, good morning, Bob. So I'm going to walk you through the most efficient way to practice your putting once you understand the training. Once you understand how to read your green, once you understand how to hit your line, and then control your distance. Once you get those drills down, you can incorporate them all together. So I'm going to walk you through how I've got it set up. First thing I do is I line up 42 feet for my 6-foot ladder drill. I've got a uphill, it appears to be breaking right to left and then back left to right, so kind of a double breaker. So I've set up a 6 feet, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, and 42. That's for the 6-foot ladder drill and green reading. Now I've set up my warm-up station with my yardstick to work on my path. My face angle. Then I've set up my eye line to make sure my eyes are set up right, my shoulders are set up right, and then the putting arc to work on my path, and then to hit and hold. Because most of the time if we don't train it right, when we putt, we just hit, and then we stand up, look up at the ball, and I want to use this to really train hitting and holding until the ball stops. And then this is the 10-foot star drill. I find the point 10 feet straight downhill first. That's the starting point. And I think 72 times 5 is 360. So you can get a compass or whatever and set up 5 tees. So I have a tee right here, downhill, left to right. This one's straight downhill. This one's downhill, right to left. It's number 3. This one's uphill, right to left. And then I have the 5th one set up over here. Uphill, left to right. So I've got the 5-star 10-foot drill set up. And what I use is the Dave Pelz balls. Now, you can use the regular balls, doesn't really matter. But I want to make sure that when I get this thing set up, the goal here is I have 3 times to go through this drill. I need to make 1 out of 3 balls from each station. If I fail, I go around it again. If I fail, I go around it again. I have a 3rd chance to get 1 out of 3 balls in the hole. If I fail, I come back the next day and try it again. So I use the Dave Pelz balls because I want to make sure after we do our warm-up that I'm still hitting the ball and making sure that I hit end over end and it rolls down. So we've got our setup here. Five-star 10-foot drill. You start 10 feet straight downhill, and then you do 4 other tees equidistant in a 360-degree circle. And the object is to make 1 out of 3 from each location, and you have 3 sets, 3 tries to go at it. So let me go through my warm-up here. sure everybody can still see my setup here. It's windy. So I'm going to work on my path first. Make sure I have a stable base. My eyes are directly over the ball or just inside that line. I'm going to do 10 of these where I hit and hold till the ball stops. Hit and hold till the ball stops. Through your routine setup, balance, hit and hold. Hit and hold. And here I'm just working on my path. We're training out here, so take your time. Make sure you have the proper balance, feet are in the ground, stable knees. Hit and hold. It stops. And even though we're just working on path here, still want to make sure that I have a square face and impact, because now I'm going to go right next to the ruler drill, yardstick. Same thing, get my stance and posture. Make sure y'all can see this. Push, the second one I pulled, or maybe not necessarily pull, but the face is shut a little bit. The third one was just right. So I'll do that whole routine again. There we go, right down the line. Line hitting the back of this ball at 3 o'clock. Drive 3 to 9 o'clock. If I can visually feel that and see that, that's the best way to master this drill. So I'll do 3 more for my warm-up. Really want to focus on hitting the back of this ball at 3 o'clock. Driving through to 9 o'clock. Just a good strike, but the face is open. Went off to the right. Really want to focus on getting my club face square and my wrists. Really focus on my wrist. You know, the grip. I have it in a lifeline with this finger going down the side, and then I have this lifeline pushing this way, and I forward press and lock it right there, and then I take my backswing. You can leave it just still like this, like Zach Johnson, No forward press, you just lock it here and just drag it back with the right forearm. Right forearm, because you can do this 1,000 times over and over and over with the right forearm. So this one I'll do no forward press. Just going to hit back. Okay, feels good. And golfing's about feedback, so you always want to get feedback and self-correct. Once you know the proper way to do it, then you can just get feedback and self-correct. So I'm warmed up. I got my path dialed in. The ruler, the yardstick drill was really beneficial for me just now because it forces me to really focus on impacting the back of that ball and driving through the ball. And with both those different setups where I have a forward press and I lock it in here and then hit, or this is forward press, no forward press, and I just drag it back with my right forearm, nice and slow. I practiced that differently just now, and it feels more comfortable without the forward press today. So I'm gonna do the 6-foot ladder drill without a forward press. I wanna make sure you guys can see up here. I did a forward press because it felt more comfortable. I talk out loud in training. Range register for 18 feet. Practice swing. No forward press in that one, guys. So I'm working on some different things. This is what I'm doing, I'm training. And that one rolled by about 6 feet, so I gotta start all over. This rolled out about 7 feet. Know I'm Polish, so you can always do this drill in reverse and start with 42 feet. So I'll set up back here, I'll start with 42 feet, trick my brain a little bit. Obviously the balls are getting away, so I'm going to move it out a little bit. 42 feet. Yeah, the balls are getting away. So I'm going to start the 6-foot ladder drill over from 6 feet up. So before I start this over, anybody have any questions? Let's see, I got Fuller, Bob, and Dave, and Tom watching this morning. Anybody have any questions? Any thoughts? Any comments? I'm sure most of you guys are stuck in the cold northern states. That's why I moved to Florida. So again, we're going to warm up. Hit and hold with the putting arc. Hit and hold just to work on your path. Path has about 8% of impact on direction, and phase angle impact has about a 92% impact on direction. And this is, our favorite device here, the 3-foot yardstick drill, making that ball start off and roll down the entire path. Ladder drill is all about speed. As long as I don't come up short and I don't go 3 feet past. Go by. Now you guys probably can't see the contours of this green. But right about here it starts downhill. And then it goes downhill this way. So I've put myself in a challenge myself. Double break where I play downhill. I help my finish the ball drop in the hole. Got to practice that over and over. So a lot of the times speed control boils down to the same finish as well as the follow through. Finish and hold. Finish and hold. So I made 2 out of the 4. 30 feet right now. I've got uphill. just not short of the hole. So now I got 36 feet right now. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, is this coming in right-handed? I mean left-handed? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have my Facebook settings set up. Anyhow, yes, I am right-handed. Can you use the stroke arc training aid with chipping motion? Yeah. There's really not a need to do that, Fuller. It's a great question, though. What you can do is you can use a mirror. So if I'll go back to this sweeping the dust. If you put a club here and you just slightly turn your shoulders 45 degrees, okay, train your body to do this, well, guess what? I'm moving my shoulders 45 degrees. So in a chipping motion, if I keep my hands and arms still without bending or moving, and I just move my shoulders 45 degrees, sweeping the dust, here I am up to plane, and then toe up. So there's really no need to do that. It's just, can't stress enough, this whole sweeping of the dust on the backswing and downswing. We need to be able to separate the lower body and the upper body. When I have a stable base, let me get a better view here. I get a stable base right here, and I just turn my shoulders. Now if I just cock my wrist and I turn my shoulders, so if I preset and cock this number 2 power accumulator and I just turn my shoulders 45 degrees, right there, I'm up to plane, I'm on plane, and then it's just slight arm elevation. And it's still the 730 swing. Cock the wrist. So mirror work, mirror in front, mirror in the side, use a camera. I can see myself right now up to plane toe up. Up to plane toe up. Let's see. Yeah, Steve, I just was told that I am putting left-handed. I'll have to figure that out next time. Do I always increase wrist angle? I don't think I increase wrist angle. So there's a couple things, Fuller. Sometimes I'll putt like this. Sometimes I'll have a forward press. So if I have no forward press and I just putt, I'm not changing this. I'm not changing the structure whatsoever. If I have a forward press, I'm not changing this structure whatsoever. So I'm continuing the structure the entire time. The shoulders, arms, if you look at this as like a hanger, my goal, if I take, this is for the full golf swing as well. If I take my right hand and I put it over my left wrist and I stretch out my right arm, this is an extensor action. This is extending, this right hand is extending the left arm. This is called extensor action. Now, when I do that with my grip, I still take and extend, instead of me pushing down on my wrist, extending this out and have the structure throughout the swing, I take my normal grip and I take pressure point number 1 and press down on the thumb and I extend it. Now I've got this structure. Hogan called it the magical device. And if we keep this magical device, the structure between the shoulders, the arms, and the wrist, this triangle, if you keep this structure consistent throughout the entire swing, you'll be able to have better ball striking from putting to pitching to chipping to the full game. Because at any given point, the left arm is always straight or the right arm is always straight. So in the putting stroke, you can actually gets set up here and presses here, now I've got this structure. I've got a flat left wrist. And this structure is just, you can take it back just with the right forearm. I have the structure set up, back and through, and hold. So now you have this putting arc, back and through, and hold. When you follow through and hold, you always increase wrist ankle. So where are we at? Okay, so 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. So I'm at 36 feet. Distance control. That's going fast. Go. That's going slow. Alright, so I came up 4 feet short. So I gotta start this entire drill over. I'm gonna hit for 42 real quick. Let's see here. What brand of ball do I play? I play 2 different brands. I play the TaylorMade TP5X, and then I play the AVX, sometimes the Paddless AVX. These are the TaylorMade's TP5X. So now, hey Brian, good afternoon, good morning from California. So after this training, I'll finish this 42, the 6-foot ladder drill. I'm gonna move our attention over to another really great training drill. Make sure you guys can see me here. Got my Dave Pelz balls. So this is a 10-foot 5-star performance putting drill. I picked 5 stars all the way around a circle. I think 5 times 72 is 360. So you want to be 72 degrees apart. So I first take 10 feet from the highest point. I want a straight 10-footer downhill. So this is set up 10 feet downhill. I've got another spot here, I've got another spot there, and here. So I got 5 spots. I have one straight downhill, I have one downhill left to right, downhill right to left, uphill right to left, uphill left to right. Pelz balls, it's very similar to our 3-foot yardstick drill. around again, and I go around for a third time. If I do not complete 1 out of 3 from each location in today's session out of the 3 attempts, I fail and I'm done with that. I can then go out to 30 feet and make 1 out of 3, or get 2 out of 3 to within tap-in distance. It's just a little bit more challenging. So I'm going to go through my routine, practice stroke. This is downhill, a little bit fast. And I missed. And as you can see, the ball squiggled a little bit, so I didn't hit it square. And when you see those lines roll end over end, you know that you hit a good shot. That made 1 out of 3. This is typically the easiest section. That's why it's straight downhill, straight putt. And that ball just rolled end over end. So I'm going to move to the next spot. It's a 10-foot putt. This is downhill left to right. So I practice green reading at the same time, and hitting my line at the same time, and controlling my distance all at the same time, and being aware of what I'm doing and what I'm working on, and getting feedback. 1 out of 3 is the goal. Now once you are able to successfully get 1 out of 3, then the next time you come out, 2 out of 3 is your goal from 10 feet. Ball just rolled end over end. So when you see the ball roll like that with these Dave Pelz O-balls, you know you're hitting it at the sweet spot, and you know that club face is perfectly square at impact. And that's really what you strive to make sure you get a true roll. And that will keep it short. So I hit 2 out of 3. Camera a little bit here. Hey, look who showed up. Hey, Scott Petro. Got Brian here from California. Make sure. So the 5-star ladder drill. So I went straight downhill, made 1 out of 3. Downhill left to right, I made 2 out of 3. Now I got an uphill 10-footer, left to right. So I pick my line, go through my routine. The most important thing I look for is to make sure that I hit 3 o'clock, hit home. And it just missed on the high side. Set it up again. Line to it. Confirm it. Send it. Made 1 out of 3. So I made 1 out of 3 from that location. So a 5-star, 10-foot, 5-star drill. So now I have my 4th station, 4 and 5. So far I've passed the downhill, passed the first 3. So this one's uphill, right to left, 10 feet. The swing, confirm it, send it. I hit the sweet spot pretty good in that one. line to it. Firm it. That ball rolled really, really good. So I've been 1 out of 2 so far. Made 2 out of 3. So the first 4 stations I passed, 1 out of 3. I get to station number 5, I pass that. I have an option. I can continue, and now I have to make 2 out of 3. So let me make 1 out of 3 real quick. That's a big breaker downhill, right to left. Downhill, right to left. Okay, so I missed both of them. Now the pressure's really on. What I have to do is try to drill over until I'm able to pass it. And I missed it. Ooh. So now I've got 2 more sets to go through that entire routine. So let's move around here and talk about some things. So I've got the Dave Pelz O-balls. I've got this set up 10 feet straight downhill. I got my second station, third station, fourth station, fifth station. So you set up 5 different locations. You take 360-degree circle and you divide by 5 at 72 degrees. Or you can just use your eyes to measure it out. And once you pass and get 1 out of 3 balls in the hole, you can continue that training that day and get 2 out of 3. And you might fail the first time, you go through it again, and then you go through it again, and you go through it again. If you pass it, well, you can continue and go get 3 out of 3 balls, or you can come back the next day and try again if you fail. So to recap how I warm up, I take my eye line and get set up. I put a tee in the putting arc here, there, and right there. And what I'm working on when I warm up is my path. I want to make sure that my path is good. I want to make sure my eyes are aligned. Everything looks good. And I hit and hold. I want to train my body to hold that finish until the ball stops. I warm up 9 to 12 strokes, hit and hold, hit and hold, hit and hold. Then I'll immediately go over to my favorite drill of all time, the yardstick drill. I want to make sure that my face is square, hitting the back of that ball at 3 o'clock and driving down the line. And I do that 9, 12 times just to get familiar with making sure that face is perfectly square at impact, causing that ball to drive across that line. Once that's done, I find a pretty unique portion of the green where I have different slopes, different green reads. These 42 feet of green is literally uphill and then downhill double breaker. And I start with the 6 feet. And I go to 12 feet. And I'll do this with just my right hand only, working on speed control. That's a little fast. I'm using one hand because I'm on camera right now. I'll look at the 18-footer. So this is what I do to maximize my time and training on the putting practice. So you set up your path with the putting arc. You work on your face angle impact with the yardstick drill. You got your distance control. I put 7 tees down, 6 feet apart, 42 feet. I do my 6-foot ladder drill, 42 feet. And then when I'm done with that, I'll go over to the 10-foot 5-star drill. Any questions before I wrap this fun day of training up? Scott, thanks for showing up. Brian, nice to see you. Dave Castillo, hope it's not raining in Seattle. Hello, Fuller. Great questions. Steve, enjoy Key West. Bob Perry, Patriots Day at 4:30. You and Petra should say hi. Scott, Bob and Scott are both from Massachusetts. I got Tom Parker and Dave. So, anybody have any questions throughout the week? Send me a message. Let me know what's up. If you need to get on a one-on-one with me, my calendar is always open to you guys. Let's set some records and, let's shoot birdies, man. Let's make some birdies. Eliminate the blow-up holes. Remember, life is short. Focus on enjoying the game. Set your intentions. Your intention is to be the best putter in your area, in your state, whatever it is. Set that intention and train like you're the best player in the world. I'll talk to you guys soon. Is that the last thing before you head to the course? I don't understand the question, Castillo. David, what's the question? The last thing I do before I go to the course is I use my yardstick. Yardstick. I want to make sure that if I can hit that ball across that line and I focus and dial in, so focused and concentrate on hitting that line and hitting the ball with a square club face, I'm going to put pretty darn good. So let's see here. Today is Saturday. So you guys enjoy yourself and the family. There's no training this coming Monday or Thursday. David Seidel will be back Monday, December 30th. And Dan, the man shipment, will be Thursday, January 2nd. I'll see you guys then. Take care. Merry Christmas.